I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Conway?
Here.
Mr. Rossi?
Here.
Mayor Getchia?
Here.
Mr. Lay? Miss Martin?
Here.
Miss McFadden?
Here.
Mr. Bahu? Mr. Bahu? 5 absent, 5 present, 2 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Motion to suspend the rules to take 7.2 out of order by Member Conway, seconded by Member McFadden. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed?
No,
So
you need
ordered.
roll call.
Oh, roll call, I'm sorry. Roll call.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Here.
Mr. Lay? Miss Martin?
Yes.
Miss McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu? 5 yeas, 2 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 7.2, approval of minutes of the naming ad hoc subcommittee meeting of August 11th, 2026. Are there registered speakers, Madam Clerk?
Yes. Lynn Daly.
Good evening. My name is Lynn Daly. My address is 35 Windward Road, Lowell, Mass. I am looking forward to the naming and the dedication of the new Lowell High School academic building in honor of and in memory of a great Lowellian and my friend, State Senator Edward J. Kennedy, Jr. I do have copies of the packet I presented to the Ad hoc School Building Committee if anyone is interested in them. Anyone want copies? So I think that does it for me.
We need to remind them in 3 minutes.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Frank Heslin.
Thank you, school committee members, for the work that you do for public education for the city of Lowell. My name is Frank Heslin, and I am a cousin of Ed Kennedy. Beside me is his brother, Dan Kennedy. Like you folks, Ed was proud of serving the city he loved and passionate about providing the city students with the highest quality of public education that he could help provide. Ed was a strong advocate for excellence in the city's public schools. Ed's 2 children, Christina and Eddie, both graduated from Lowell High School, as did Dan and I, and other cousins, parents, uncles, and aunts. Our family asks you, the Lowell School Committee, to please support naming the academic building in Ed's memory. Ed was the mayor, chair of the Lowell School Committee, state senator, and a city councilor for many terms. He advocated for the improved high school to remain downtown and accessible to all students from all neighborhoods. His efforts will soon be realized, and dedicating the academic building in his memory would help him rest, knowing his determination is appreciated. Thank you very much.
That concludes the speakers.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak on this portion?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Steve Panagiotakis, 191 Sanders Ave, Lowell. Brings back a lot of memories coming in here. I remember it was 1990 when I got sworn in here, and the mayor setting up over there was Dick Howe, George Cooler Harris, Kathy Janis, myself. Then it was Ray Riddick Jr., Catherine Starklosa, who the school's named after, and Mariana Sullivan. So I learned a lot in those seats. You still haven't learned, I know, but you're getting there. But tonight's a special night because we're honoring, or we have an opportunity to honor two Lowellians who have given so many decades of their careers to the city. You know, we honor people not for what they receive, but for what they've given back. And today's an excellent opportunity to do that. Bill Samaras gave his whole career just about to Lowell High School. He's legendary on his involvement there and what he's left behind there. And when it was time for him to ride off into the sunset with a job well done, he decided he was going to run for city council. And he did an excellent job during his terms as city council and was mayor for a term and provided great leadership to the city. So naming the student center after Bill is certainly a fitting tribute. And I spoke to the city council about that previously. But for Ed Kennedy, I mean, as was said earlier, Ed came in here in 1978 in the city council. I mean, that's a lifetime ago. Was a Middlesex County Commissioner, elected in '92. And when you look at Middlesex County, 1.6 million people. It's a huge election. It's the largest county in all of New England and one of the top counties in all of the United States. And to get elected from this side of the county was quite a testament to Ed's electability and his political will. He came back after years of being out of public life to run for city council and served for 4 terms, and 1 term as the mayor, and then took over as the state senator when Eileen left. And we were blessed to have him there. During that time as city councilor and mayor, and especially state senator, he was the champion for Lowell High School, especially downtown. And when he got into the state senate, he was, sometimes funding can be a little iffy. Things come up, and you might not be getting everything you thought you were getting. But Ed was there to make sure that out of the hundreds of millions of dollars that Lowell was supposed to get, they did get. And he's, when you look at that new Lowell High School, you think about him because he was a big part of it. He was not a vociferous politician. He spoke with wise words from an experience that none of us else had, dating back to 1978. So when he spoke, he was listened to. And that was important. He didn't seek headlines. What he sought was a job well done. And he did do that, especially when it came to the high school. So it's only fitting that we name the academic building after Edward Kennedy Jr., a fine Lowellian. I'll leave you with this. Our city is like a great, big, beautiful tree. Has many branches, leaves of all different colors, sizes, and shapes. But its strength and vitality comes from its roots. And those roots are the contributions of Lowellians over the last 200 years. And some of those contributions have been significant, and we remember them, like Lucy Larkham Park from the days of the mills, or the Butler School from Benjamin Butler during the Civil War, and so many others, But it's our remembering that waters that tree so that it can continue to flourish. And it's important for us in our time to remember the people in our time that have made these significant contributions so they can be added to that root system, so that this tree, that is the city of Lowell, will remain a tree that can flourish and live and stand the test of time over the next 200 years. So I encourage you to vote in favor of both of these recommendations from the subcommittee. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Panagiotakis. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Members of the school committee, Mr. Superintendent, good to see you again. I'm also here to speak in favor of honoring the Student Center after former mayor and former head of school, Bill Samaras. On June, Dan Rourke, 15 Bridget Lane, Lowell, Massachusetts. Mr. Mayor, I want to be gavelled down. On June 16th, 2026, the City Council, a motion filed by Councilor Vesna Noon and myself, we offered this up to the city council. We had to name the student center at the new Lowell High School after William J. Samaras. We had many public speakers, including our former state senator and others, that spoke in support of naming the center after Bill. Bill was the headmaster in Lowell Public Schools for 30 years, dedicated his life to public schools. But then, as stated before, he went into public service as a city councilor and as a mayor. While his time at Lowell High School, Bill Samaras started the Latin Lyceum program. He brought the DARE program to Lowell High. At the time, and Ed Davis, former chief of police of Lowell Police Department, spoke of the gang issues that we had at Lowell High School during those times. Bill was not a punitive head of school. He sought to help kids and those that needed it. He did that with great success. So on August 11th, I want to thank Chairman Lay of the naming subcommittee. Brought this forward to both honor former Mayor Ed Kennedy and former Mayor Bill Samaras for these two votes that are before you this evening. At that meeting, again, we spoke of Bill and Ed's giving to the city of Lowell. So I will be here today, Mr. Mayor, members of the school committee, to support both votes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, school committee members, Superintendent Tina. My name is Ben Opara. I'm a Lowell resident. I'm here to speak on behalf of my friend, the late Senator Ed Kennedy, and also Bill Samaras, who is also a personal friend of mine. It's quite interesting that on days like this, we remember people who have one way or another impacted us positively. I stand here this evening to tell you that these two gentlemen really made positive impacts on me. When I moved to this city in 1989 for grad school here, and thereabouts, I started roaming around the city by 1992. I heard of a gentleman called Ed Kennedy. So I looked at the person that was telling me about Ed and said, is he of the Kennedy family? He said, yes and no. But you don't know him because he's since retired from politics in the city. This was 1992-93. And then forward march to sometime in the 2013-14, Ed came back, or before then, and I ran into Ed Kennedy, and right away we clicked. The welcoming face and his attitude towards me was remarkable, and we became very good friends. So Ed represented to me what every human being should always remember, that when you rise up there, you do not forget people that you met when you were low there. So Ed, while he was senator, there was no time I could try more than once without reaching Ed. And Ed will come to my house at 2 a.m. bringing citations from the Senate. So Ed was a friend of mine, so I urge you, please, go forward and do your due diligence and name the academic hall of the new Lowell High School after late Senator Ed Kennedy. Same with Bill Samaras, who is a friend of mine also. These two gentlemen are what we expect from human beings representing us in the city of Lowell. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. O'Hara. Is there anyone else wishing to speak tonight? Okay. Seeing no one else wishing to speak, we'll turn it over to Member Lay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was a few minutes late. Did we just go ahead and skip to 7.2? Thank you. So the ad hoc facility naming subcommittee met at 5:30 on Tuesday, August 11th, on the 5th floor at the school department. And at that meeting, all the school committee members present at the meeting were Mr. Conway, Ms. Martin, and Mr. Rossi. On that day, we had 3 special guests at the meeting speaking in support. They were Ms. Lynn Daly, former Vice Mayor Visna Nguyen, and former Mayor Dan Rook. There were 2 items. There were only 2 items on the agenda. The first item requests that the new academic building at Lowell High School, located at the corner of Arcan Drive and Father Morissette Boulevard, be named in honor of the late State Senator Edward J. Kennedy. This is the building on the right-hand side, in case you don't know where that is. On the right-hand side when you enter the Lowell High School from the main entrance. Sponsored by Ms. Lynn Daly. She was an individual who submitted the application and did a fantastic job reading Senator Ed Kennedy's biography to us, along with the rationale for honoring. This motion passed unanimously with 4 votes. The second item on the agenda was named the Student Support Center at Lowell High School after William J. Samaras. This is the room on the left-hand side as you enter Lowell High School from the main entrance. It is located between the front receptionist area and the cafeteria. Former Mayor Dan Rook and former Vice Mayor Visna Nguyen both spoke passionately in support of Mayor and former head of school Bill Samaras. The former Vice Mayor Visna Nguyen also spoke support of Senator Ed Kennedy. The motion passed with 3 votes, and 1 member couldn't vote only because of the problem with internet, because this person attended the meeting remotely. So tonight, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to bring these 2 items in front of the whole committee for approval, and would like to ask my friends on the school committee and you, Mr. Mayor, to please vote yes on both items. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lay. Does anyone else wish to say anything? Well, I will just say a couple words. I think it's a joyous occasion to be able to speak on behalf of 2 amazing public servants who gave everything to our city. I think at the same time, though, it's a sad day because we can't actually say it to Senator Kennedy, thank you. But when you think about Senator Kennedy, he never really did anything for a thank you. It was never about the thank you, so I guess it's fitting. Both Mr. Samaras and Senator Kennedy gave a lot to our city. They cared about Lowell High School. They cared about the education system. And they worked hard to deliver everything they could. And it wasn't just Lowell High School. When you think of Greater Lowell Tech, I remember we were trying to get a football field done, and we had no money to do it. And I called Senator Kennedy, and I said, is there any way you can help out? We have a lot of kids here that could really use this football field. He answered the phone and said, let me get back to you. He was the only one of the reps that got back to us, and he delivered the millions of dollars so that those kids could have the same thing that everybody else had. And he never once promoted it. It was like, no big deal, let's move on. And I think that that's the important piece of all of us in public service. Is it's more about the outcomes than it is about the division along the way, even though you will divide people along the way if you believe in something. And that's who Senator Kennedy was. And I'm just sad that he isn't here to say thank you. But and Mr. Samaras is the same person. You know, you see someone who comes out every day and gives up quality time to make our city a better place. And today, as we look to take these votes, it truly is an honor to be able to vote for 2 special people that we've had in this city, and how lucky we are to have them here. So With that, we're going to let school committee member Martin speak. Connie.
Very much, Mr. Mayor, and I really do want to be brief because everyone has said such wonderful things about both these gentlemen. I just want to say, from my own perspective, I had the great good fortune to serve with both of them when they were mayor here in the city of Lowell. They both took on the task of chairing the school committee, I think in many ways without knowing what they were getting into. But they were both gracious and committed, truly public servants who, and I'll speak specifically during their time on the school committee, there were some big flashy topics that the school committee was dealing with during both of their tenures. And they, to a T, both of them approached them with a very grounded and a real true understanding of what our students needed, what our families needed. And that's what really guided all of their decision-making and all of their leadership. So again, I feel very, very lucky that I had the opportunity to serve with both of them. Obviously, I very enthusiastically support this naming opportunity for both of these gentlemen who really gave so much to our city, and I can say specifically gave so much of their time and attention and their commitment to the Lowell Public Schools. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Member Martin. Member Conway.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just very briefly, I want to say the speakers did an absolutely incredible job explaining who these two individuals were and are, and have done such an incredible job. Senator Ed Kennedy, I've known him for many years, and when you make a telephone call to Senator Ed Kennedy, he always returned the telephone call, and I give him a lot of credit for that. And he worked very hard, not just for the city of Lowell, but also in the surrounding towns, and he's did an absolutely incredible job. So I will certainly be very proud and honored to vote yes for Senator Ed Kennedy. And with Bill Samaras, I've known Bill Samaras for many years. He was my boss at Lowell High School for a whole bunch of years. Let's just leave it at that. And I will say that Bill's door was always open. We didn't necessarily always agree, but I will tell you one thing. He cared a lot about Lowell High School and the city of Lowell. And I think and I certainly am there to vote yes on this, and I'm very honored to vote yes on both of them. These two individuals were great picks to be honored. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Conway. With that, a motion by Mr. Lay and seconded by Ms. Martin to approve the naming of the new academic building at Lowell High School after the late Senator Edward J. Kennedy. Roll call.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi.
Yes.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu. 6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. A motion by Ms. Martin, seconded by Mr. Conway to approve naming the Student Support Center at Lowell High School after William J. Samaras. Roll call.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi.
Yes.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu. 6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you to all the speakers. We're going to go back. Oh, we need the report of progress. Motion to accept the report of progress by Ms. McFadden, seconded by Ms. Del Rossi. Roll call.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi. Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu. 6 yeas, 1 absent.
We will now return to the regular portion of the agenda. Number 3, special order of business 3.1, introduction of new principals. Dr. Cannon Driscoll, Lincoln Elementary School. You may come up and Introduce yourself.
Introduce myself.
And congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight and to introduce myself. I am Carrie Ann Driscoll. Over the past 12 years, I've served in several different teaching and leadership positions across 3 different schools in Lowell. And I can honestly say that the Lincoln School, there's something really special about the Lincoln School. Over the past 3 years, I've served as the assistant principal, and I've gotten to know the staff, the students, and the families, and I feel truly honored for the opportunity to lead this community this year and hopefully for many years to come. We have been working hard on lots of new initiatives. We've been partnering with ASERA. We have our Project Lead the Way grant that will continue through this year to bring more engineering to our students. And we have a fabulous after-school and summer program that has brought lots of different opportunities to our students. And I invite all of you to come in anytime, get to know me, get to know our community, and see the wonderful work that our students are doing.
Congratulations, Ms. Driscoll. Next is B, Ms. Jennifer Lally, Washington Elementary School.
How do you do? I'm Jennifer Lilly. Have not been in Lowell for very long. I did do my undergraduate here and graduated way back in 2000. So I've been in education for 26 years as both a music teacher, an assistant principal, and a principal. Previously, I'm lucky enough to have been chosen by the Washington Elementary School. Small schools are my passion. Elementary school is my passion, and I am so excited to be in a district that so well aligns with my values and belief system. I'm just very grateful for the opportunity to be here, and I can't wait to get started with the school and staff.
Congratulations to both of you, and good luck in the upcoming school year. 3.2 Spotlight on Excellence Summer School 2026. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. School committee members, we refer to our summer school programs these days as explore and expand. And there's a lot of exploring has occurred this summer, and our summer school programs have expanded. They've done so under the guidance of Dr. Rebecca Duda, our coordinator for special programs, and the leadership of Dr. Fox Roy in our academics and instruction office. We're very pleased with the summer program this year, which entertained more than 1,500 students in 22 schools. And we thought you'd like to hear about it. We believe you'll enjoy Dr. Duda's rendition and report about our Expand and Explore summer school program. Dr. Duda, please.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Thank you for inviting me to talk about our summer program. I'm the coordinator of special programs, and each summer my office oversees the summer program. It's a 4-week program. This year it was July 6th to July 31st. Children attend 4 days a week. 3.5 hours per day, and teachers are there to do prep work ahead of time. So it's a 4-hour program. As Mr. Skinner said, we had over 1,500 students this year. That's 300 students more than last year. We offered busing for 12 of our sites, which was something that was different this year because we recognized that busing and transportation was a barrier. So we partnered with the Multilingual Learner Department and their refugee grant and funding through my 21st Century grants and Twilight funding through local funds to provide busing. And we hope to expand that even next year even more because it helps several schools to increase their attendance and their enrollment this year at summer school. As Mr. Skinner said, we serve 22 sites. That's all of our K-8 schools and the Freshman Academy. In addition to that, something that I did not actually put in the report, my office also supported and collaborated with the Police Academy and the Police Department, and they held their program at the Rogers School. I mentioned that briefly as one of my community partners, and they serviced over 200 students. Then Lowell Credit Recovery as well is overseen by my department. I worked with Mr. Patterson and Dr. Gerard. That was 300 students. And we had a new initiative this year as well, a Math Academy for incoming grade 9 students, which was taught by one of our math coordinators, Mr. Tanaka, and that was held at the Robinson Middle School. So in total, my office actually serviced almost 2,000 students. But if we're looking just at it, the Explore and Expand program, it's 1556. And we also, working with our multilingual learner department, try to enroll more refugee students who we noticed over the past few years had not been attending. And we increased that number to 46, which is 20% of our refugee population. And it was just, the summer allows you to have the students do things that they wouldn't normally do during the school year. So we had, and you'll see in your report, many schools had outdoor learning classrooms, our school gardens, where they learned to grow vegetables and interact outside. We had the police academy, as I mentioned. Several schools developed financial literacy programs. The Butler in particular made that the theme of their 4-week program, financial literacy, for our middle school students. And the Merkland and the Butler both, for their financial literacy programs, partnered with credit unions, Jean d'Arc and Aligned Credit Union. The Explore and Expand program are really academic programs, so schools are able to develop their whatever activities they want around student outcomes. So the outcomes this year that we've wanted to work on with the children are their engagement in learning. We don't want them to lose interest in school or have any learning loss over the summer. Critical thinking, communication, and relationship with peers, all social and emotional learning outcomes. And we measure those outcomes as well. We do pre and post scores as well. So these are academic programs, and they were well attended. Our attendance this year improved greatly from previous years. Our average attendance was 80% this year. And feedback from parents was very positive. We had a survey, you'll see it in your report. They were very pleased with the program and would like it to continue, and it will. So that's, I think, a good summary of what we have. There's much more in your report, and I'd be happy to take any questions if you had any questions. And we also have a short video, so you can see some of the children in action as well.
Do you want to run the video?
Yep, we have a video. While we wait for the video, I also just want to point out nothing that my department does is possible without the administrative assistant in the Office of Academics and Learning, and that's Jean McGuire, who is invaluable between ordering and hiring and helping me set up everything. So, as well as all the site managers who enroll all of the students too. Our work begins in late March and April to get summer program going. So I just want to thank everyone who puts it together.
Mr. Lay, would you like to fill the time?
I have a quick question, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Lay?
Appreciate it. Thank you. Dr. Duda, I just have a quick question. Was the summer program this year strictly just for students who catch up or for
Oh, no,
as
it's
well
for
as for
enrichment.
those who want enrichment?
Yes, so Lowell High School is credit recovery, but the Explore and Expand program is enrichment. It's so they can do extra. Yeah, it's not for credit recovery.
Okay.
For K through 8. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Ms. McFadden?
I can fill some time.
Thank you.
My sons did the police academy at the STEM, and they absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And so I got to go to the graduation the other day, and just
Oh,
the
that's
energy in the building and the kids, it was really incredible.
Oh, that's a great partnership.
Yeah.
Right? Officer Mindy and Officer Mike Marshall, they do great
They're
work
great.
with children. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm glad they had a good experience. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they service a lot of children. Because
Yeah, there was over 100 kids in the 5th to 6th grade graduation.
Yeah, and they start actually, they started before July 6th. They started the last week in June.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they run, I think.
They do 7th and 8th for 3 weeks, take a week off,
take
and
a
then do
break.
5th
Their
and 6th.
schedule's a little different than the K through 8 schedule.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah. Oh, and here's our video, so you can see the kids and staff in action. That's the Rogers School. the children also go to the splash pads as well. That's another partnership you see right there with the Merklin, with the police. Yeah, if I can just add one more thing, Mr. Skinner, before I conclude. I mentioned our partnerships with Aligned Credit Union, John Dark Credit Union, and the Police Department, but I should also have a shout out to Mill City Grows, because the field trips that you saw that the children went to the farms, those are at no cost in Mill City. We send the children over and they get to experience Mill City Farms. And also the Songus Industrial History Center provided programming at the Lincoln and at the Merklin this year at no cost for our children as well. So they're invaluable community partners. So I want to just make sure everyone is thanked. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Duda. Superintendent Skinner.
I'd like to thank Dr. Duda and point out that she mentioned in her presentation that we track outcomes. Students are assessed and the outcomes are very good and we're very proud of them. But an additional outcome that we won't see right off is that some students who participate in summer programs, like the ones you've just seen, will do better in school this fall. It helps to mitigate what we call summer learning loss, and the students who were involved this summer were engaged, were happy, and productively involved in academic programs that will help them be better readers and better problem solvers this fall. Thank you to Ms. Duda.
Thank you, Mr. Skinner. 4 minutes. Motion to approve the special and regular scheduled Lowell School Committee meeting minutes of July 15, 2026 and August 4, 2026, and place them on file by Mr. Conway, seconded by Ms. Del Rossi. Roll call.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu? 6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 5, permission to enter. 5.1, permission to enter August 19th, 2026. Superintendent Skinner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. School committee members, I'd like to offer to take 2 items off tonight's permission to enter document. They are multi-year contracts, which I gather is unusual and would be beneficial, I think, to school committee members and to the school department in general if we were to examine them and discuss them in greater detail at a subcommittee meeting. So this is an item, Apple Incorporated for $1.4 million, another one for Whaley Computer Associates for $2.2 million. Again, they're multi-year contracts. I suggest that we not include them in tonight's packet and that we instead have a technology subcommittee meeting where we can discuss them further.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Mr. Conway.
Yeah, I'd suggest not just the, did you say the technology? I think we should have a joint subcommittee, a technology and budget.
Motion by Mr. Conway to have a technology and budget subcommittee for the Apple and Wally portion of the permission to enter, and seconded by Mr. Lay. Roll call.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
We will take the motion to approve the permission to enter with the removal of the Apple and Wally portion and also the CTI portion. We'll take the CTI portion separate because we will have someone who will be removing themselves from that vote. So motion to approve the permission to enter with the removal of the Apple, Wally, and CTI portion by Mr. Lay, seconded by Ms. McFadden. Roll call.
Mr. Conway?
I'm sorry, Mr. Conway?
I have a few that I want to talk on.
Oh, I thought you were all done. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
You had stopped speaking, so I want to...
No, that was as far as the,
Mr. Conway, go ahead. Go ahead.
are we voting on, what are we voting on at this point?
Everything except for we removed Apple and Wally and brought that to a subcommittee as
Okay.
suggested. And we're removing the CTI one because we have a member who is going to be...
I have some questions on some of these items.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So if we take a look through you to the superintendent of schools, Middlesex Community College, the $45,000. Could somebody explain that to me a little bit further? Because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, the Middlesex Community College, the classes are free. And when I take a look and I see the funding provided by the school department, dual enrollment program, with MCC, it's the early college program. Are we commingling them somehow? Because the dual enrollment is UMass Lowell. And the early college program is MCC. So when we take a look at Middlesex Community College and we're talking about funding, and the funding is provided by the school department budget, the dual enrollment program, that's not the same thing. Because Middlesex Community College is the early college program. And UMass is the dual enrollment.
Mr. Superintendent?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Conway. Dr. Foxroy, are you able to clarify, please?
I think I can try to clarify. I know that we offer both programs with additional services. So the fact that that the tuition is free is one piece, but we offer computers to our students. We offer additional services. So the amount of money that we typically have on is for additional services that are provided to the students who participate in those courses through the high school.
Okay. Also on Middlesex Community College, on the next page, the $35,000 item. It says, provide Lowell High School with a violence prevention peer mediation program. Why would this be aligning with MCC?
So that one, we would have to get you some additional information. I'm not quite sure I know that piece.
So, Mr. Conway, I believe that one is provided for by a grant, and that peer mediation is something that requires a considerable amount of expertise, and the expertise exists at Middlesex Community College. It's a very convenient opportunity for us to provide that service for our students.
But we're paying for that, is that correct?
From a grant, yes.
If we turn to the next page and it says Lighthouse Wellness and Health Education Consulting, $7,000 to provide professional development regarding physical education and health. Can't we do that?
So, thank you, Mr. Conway. Again, I don't have the specifics in front of me, but we're talking about specialized care for students with physical health need. So we regularly provide professional development for, say, literacy, mathematics, social studies, all the academics. We very rarely provide sufficient professional development for art teachers, music teachers, and phys ed teachers. So this particular funding is not coming from local dollars. This is also coming from an outside source, the Barr Foundation.
Okay, I think that, you know, we get this every week, and I think it's important that we question these things, because sometimes it just, to me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't necessarily follow. We take a look at the, I believe it's the last page, EPS operations, to provide professional development to train special education teachers on the curriculum. We don't have administrators that can do that. We're paying, I know it's $7,000, but once again, we ran through a difficult budget last time, and I dare say, I'm sure that next year is not going to be not going to be an easy ride either. So could you explain that?
Ms. LeGrand, please.
The special education department is contracting with a couple of different providers to support the curriculum implementation at the elementary and middle schools for students that are outside of the regular education curriculum that might require significant modification, making sure they continue to have access to grade level content while supporting their individual special education needs that might require significant changes to the way the content is being delivered. So those are supporting the teachers and making sure our special education students who are very high needs are continuing to have access to grade level curriculum in an appropriate way.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you, Mr. Conway. Any other questions? So just so we're all on the same page, we are having a motion without the Apple, Wally, and CTI in it. Roll call.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi.
Yes.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu. 6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Motion to approve the permission to enter the CTI portion by Mr. Lay, seconded by Ms. McFadden. Any questions on the CTI portion? Roll call.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi.
Yes.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Ms. Martin. Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu. 5 yeas, 2 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 6 motions, 6.1, motion by Ms. Martin requesting that the superintendent's office poll the members of the Personnel Subcommittee to schedule a meeting to launch the evaluations of the superintendent's performance. Ms. Martin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. This is obviously a quick one. So we have done some preliminary investigating with awaiting the final approval of this vote tonight, but we would like to schedule this for next week so we can begin the superintendent's evaluation. Hoping to schedule that for next Wednesday evening. All members will receive copies of the superintendent's goals and the actual the instrument, the evaluation instrument. We use the state-sponsored instrument that was created by DESE, so you'll all be receiving that. You have received it in the past, but everyone will get an updated copy now. My hope will be that we can go through all the basics of how we evaluate the superintendent, be able to answer any questions, and then that will get compiled by our HR department. And then with any luck, we'll be able to, I'd like to be able to report back to the full committee and the community by the second meeting in September. So I'd appreciate any support from my colleagues on the school committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Any other comments? Motion by Ms. Martin, seconded by Ms. McFadden. Roll call.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi.
Yes.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu. 6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 6.2, motion by Ms. McFadden. Request the superintendent and/or their designee establish a process to provide written notification to all impacted Lowell Public School employees no later than June 1st of each year, when the upcoming school calendar and payroll schedule will result in an affected employee not receiving a paycheck during a regularly scheduled biweekly pay cycle. The notification shall include the anticipated dates of the affected paychecks to provide employees significant advance notice to plan accordingly. We have some registered speakers?
Yes. Pino Maggio.
We normally don't second before we have speakers.
Good evening. My name is Pina Maggio. I live at 115 Florence Road. I am the president of the United Teachers Union. Liam, would you answer one question for me? Put you on the spot. What is the significance of September 2nd?
Normally, we don't have speakers ask questions
Well,
to the staff.
Can we make an
normally make our
exception?
statements and then they,
I'm sorry. I'll answer my own question.
I will ask if.
I know Liam knows the answer. Everyone in here knows the answer. It is the first day of school for our children. Not for our teachers, but for our children. And our teachers, our paraprofessionals, our staff, every year, begin that day with the expectation it's going to be a great year. When I taught at the Robinson Middle School for 22 wonderful years, the staff, not just myself alone, we went shopping before that day. Because we knew that there were going to be children who did not come to school with a notebook or a book bag or pencil or paper or new clothes. And those children who came that day, we would take them into another room and we would say, let's go shopping. And they were able to take anything they wanted, and a big smile come out of their face when they left that room. And my comment to them was always the same thing: you look like you're going to college. And you had to see the smile on their face, right? That's what teaching is all about. We, the teachers, the paras, the staff, no one told us to take care of them. We did it, right? Because we love them. We watch out for them. This year is not going to be any different, by the way. We're going to have those children. And I know, even though I'm not at the Robinson, it makes no difference what school it is, you're going to have teachers in there that say, go shopping. But there's something different about this year. What's different is it isn't just the children who are coming to our school that we're worried about. We're worried about our teachers' children, our paraprofessionals' children. They may be coming to school without new clothes, without a book bag, a new book bag. They may be coming from homes and their parents are coming to school worried about, I can't make my mortgage this month. I can't pay my bills. That's a horrible situation. But the reality is there are 1,700, and I know exact amount, but it could be 100. It makes no difference. There should be no one that is going to be faced with a financial hardship because that September 3rd paycheck is not going to be in my account. Why not? I've been working for the school system for 22 years. I've opened up my checkbook and that money has always been there, and now it's not. And I want to know why. Somebody take my money? No. We are faced with a perfect storm. We can could point fingers, you, me. No one caused this. There's no intentionality here to disrupt people's lives. But they're going to be disrupted because they're not going to have that money. Now, we passed out, we sent out a Get Active. That's the notice that goes to our members. And as you can imagine, our members are very upset, and they're very worried. And I have to add, we've talked with Amanda, I don't know how many hours, and she too is very concerned and very worried. Now, if you're one sitting there and you're not going to get the money, you're going to say, well, that's really nice, Pina, but the fact is, I'm not going to get any money. Who's going to pay my bills? We have gone to the AFT. We have gone to credit unions. We have met with numerous people. We are hearing that our school systems, they're paying them, and the fact is the situation is not the same. What do we have? What's the perfect storm? Number one, and it gets a little complicated, and I apologize, because the bottom line is what's important. The Mass Wage Act stipulates clearly that no teacher should be paid for services not rendered. So what does that mean? Right? If my paycheck is supposed to clear my account on September 3rd, and just stay with me for a minute. And that framework, so you get paid on the 3rd, but there's a date that covers, it's a 2-week period that covers that September 3rd check, right? In this case, it's August, somebody help me out, 17th to the 28th, right? And we're looking at that law. If I worked those days on September 3rd, I'd get a check. But guess what? School didn't start until the 31st. I'm not entitled to any money. What do you mean I'm not entitled? I'm not, according to the law. I have to wait until September 17th, when the 31st is covered. Those are facts. Do I care? If I can't pay I don't care. Right? I'm looking for someone who's going to watch out for me. You watch out for those children every single day. Who's watching out for you? I'll tell you who they are. They're right in front of you.
Ms. Maggio, you've been over the 3-minute mark for the last 2.
Pardon?
You're over your 3-minute mark for the last 2.
Can I talk to you for a minute?
Sure.
I'm sorry. Just for 1 second. I know I'm an audience.
Do I need a hug? Ms. Maggio has convinced me to let her finish. I think she found my heart.
No, you thank him, not me. Thank you. You're very kind. You're very generous. We have a job to do here. We are the village. Everybody in this room is the village. Liam, everyone in your cabinet, the school committee, and you know what? There are people who are not here. The city council, the city manager, and the auditor. We have to come up with a plan. We're not going to break the law, where we can get our people paid. So yesterday we spent, I don't know how many hours we've talked to people. We talked to the AFT attorney, and this is what we're proposing. We're proposing that and we're going to ask the school committee to bring this proposal forward. Right? We will be with you, and I know Liam, I'm going to speak on his behalf. We're a village, we're all together here. We're going to ask that our teachers get paid, are you listening, Derek, on September 3rd for August 31st, September 1st, September 2nd, and September 3rd. Now, why am I saying that? Because the law says they cannot get paid unless they worked. Well, they did work. They started on the 31st. So we're asking them to get 4 days' pay on September 3rd. Fast forward to September 17th. We're asking them to get the full 2 weeks' pay. Now, somewhere there's a week there, right, that has to be made up, and we're asking for it to be made at the end of the year. Now, I know that sounds simple. I'm not an accountant, but I do know one thing. If you want something to happen, you make it happen. And if we have all these people, our village, supporting you, we will make it happen. We got to at least try. And that's what I'm asking you to do. We don't have a lot of time. The people don't have a lot of time. So we will do anything we can to support you. We thank you. We thank you for your motion because it's really important. But the fact is, if I had known in June I wasn't going to get paid in September, unless I had a sugar daddy, I don't know where I was going to come up with the money anyway. Right? It's definitely, you need it. But the fact is that where's the money going to come from? And I do not mean, this is not humorous. We've all been there. We're either sympathetic or empathetic. We've been there. When you open up your pockets, there's nothing there. We have an obligation. We have a duty, a moral duty to help each other. And that's all I'm asking for. I thank you for the time. I thank you for your patience. And I really thank you for your consideration. We're with you 100%. Thank you.
Elizabeth Dick.
Good evening. My name is Elizabeth Dick. I am a 7th grade ELA teacher at the Robinson Middle School. I'm here to speak on behalf of myself and my fellow colleagues in regards to the pay schedule and the lack of the payment that is going to happen on September 3rd. Unfortunately, there's a long history of non-transparency between the city officials and its teachers concerning our pay schedules. This is a manufactured crisis built on the backs of incompetent governance. As a former single mother, I've experienced many hardships in regards to financial stability. And for a time, I was living paycheck to paycheck and working not one, but 2 extra jobs to make ends meet. I can't imagine being told that I wasn't going to be able to pay my bills at the beginning of September. The fact that teachers have to endure this is unfathomable. Most teachers select the 26-week pay period so that we will not miss a paycheck during the summer. What is happening to us this year is unconscionable. Not receiving a check on September 3rd is going to cause much financial strain for teachers. You're putting teachers in the position of incurring debt to pay for everyday necessities. Food, housing, childcare, clothing, car payments, and other expenses are hard enough for families as it is. We can't go to our creditors and say, hey, could you wait a bit? Can't pay this yet. Teachers who live paycheck to paycheck are even more strained. And I know many of them. Had I been a single mother at this exact moment, like this happened last year or something like that, I wouldn't know how to live. I wouldn't know how to get by. I'd have to borrow money. It's the only way I would be able to survive right now. And personally, I don't understand how a school committee or even the city can make changes to our pay schedules without forewarning us. So we are undergoing unprecedented hardship already as a people. And it's because of inflation, and now we're going to go through some more. A suggestion for you. Maybe we could make it so that our school year starts on September 1st every year. And that way, there are no unforeseen changes in our pay. This is what UMass Lowell does. Their employees are never facing undue hardship. Those employees can count on their paychecks. Lowell teachers should be able to do the same. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Alyssa Wallace.
Hello, my name is Alyssa Wallace. I live at 285 Boylston Street in Lowell. Good evening, members of the school committee. I am here tonight because apparently in Lowell, we have all been asked to write a new lesson plan, how to survive September without a paycheck. Clearly, no one wants to be enrolled in that class. On September 3rd, myself, I teach 4th grade at the Merklin Elementary School. My husband, he's a paraprofessional in a LEAP classroom at the Maury, and the majority of our colleagues will look at our bank accounts and see nothing. And I know what some must be thinking. Well, yes, it is a different pay calendar, and that's true. But unfortunately, the electric company, whose rates are apparently 60% higher in Massachusetts than the rest of the country, does not care about pay calendar challenges. Neither does Market Basket, my doctor's office, the gas station, my federal student loans, or my son's daycare. I've tried explaining payroll technicalities to people I have owed money to before. Somehow they never seem impressed. But in all seriousness, those people who will be going without a check, including my entire family, are people who will have shown up to work. We will work August 31st, September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We are asking for something attainable. Pay us those 4 days on September 3rd. It is not a perfect solution. It's not a full paycheck, and it won't cover every bill for everyone. But this willingness to rewrite the payroll plan to help our families is worth much more to us than just money. It shows we are valued by you. This isn't about asking for something extra. It's not a bonus or even an advance. Nobody is asking for a super yacht. We are asking that we be paid for the work we will have already performed. My colleagues and I have spent years taking care of students, building welcoming classrooms, cleaning up messes, sometimes literal, but sometimes metaphorical, and showing up every single day because we know what we do matters. Our students matter. Now, we need you to show up for us because we matter. So tonight, I'm asking this committee to support a fair, practical solution. Because behind every payroll number is a person, and behind every person is a family. And behind every family are bills that have the outrageous expectation of being paid on time. So please, show us the work we do matters more than a payroll calendar. And remember, we are not asking you for something we did not earn. We are asking you to make sure that we can all begin the school year without the crushing financial pressure that comes from missing an entire paycheck. Thank you.
Thank you. Motion by Ms. McFadden, seconded by Mr. Lay. Any discussion on the motion? Ms. McFadden?
I put this motion out because I've talked to a lot of teachers. I've received emails, phone calls, Facebook messages, you name it. People are really stressed out about this, and my motion was about better communication, but it sounds like there's even more that could be done. So I encourage us to explore all options.
Thank you, Ms. McFadden. Mr. Conway?
Yeah, do we have a solution to this?
Thank you, Mr. Conway. I do think we should call on Dr. Pinto. First, I want to acknowledge our union partners and the people who spoke. You're very genuine, and the need is very obvious. I want for the committee to understand that this glitch occurs periodically, every 5, 6, 7 years. In my simplistic way of thinking about it, it occurs when the start of the school year is late. This year, Labor Day is as late as it possibly can be, and so this is, and the problem is also exacerbated by the 2-week pay schedule. So previously, people might have been behind for about a week, and now it's going to be for 2 weeks. So I appreciate Pina acknowledging that it wasn't, not intentional, and that it's really based in the law and the actual the calendar. To answer your question, Mr. Conway, we can, and I think we should explore every solution that we can. I do want to involve a little bit of time doing the exploration. I don't want to offer tonight a solution that will cause more difficulty. We may need, for example, to cooperate with the city officials on changing the payroll. We don't issue the paychecks, right? So we need some cooperation there. It might be discussed that it would cause so much difficulty and that it would be unwarranted. So I'm happy. I'd love to tell you we can do that, but I don't know tonight if we could.
The question I have, you just said to me that it happens every 5 or 6 years or whatever.
That's right.
Well, if we know it's going to happen every 5 or 6 years, that there's a problem, don't we plan for this?
We do. We do. So every 5 or 6 years, Mr. Conway, teachers waited in the past, before the 2-week cycle of paychecks, teachers waited an extra week to get a paycheck. As the speakers have said, and as the law determines, we are not allowed to pay people up front for work they haven't already done. And so it's a calendar issue. Mr. Conway, every so often, there's a leap year, right? Every 4 years. So don't we plan? Yes, we do. But it doesn't mean it doesn't occur. It still occurs.
I can understand their frustration. I've gone through this numerous times. My paycheck being incorrect. To such a point, my wife said to me, "Did you get fired?" When I got a promotion, all of a sudden, the paycheck I got in 4 weeks was something like $64. She said, what am I supposed to do with $64? Well, there was a glitch. It was a glitch. I had to bring my lawyer down and my CPA to get the thing taken care of. So I can understand the frustration by these people, obviously. I mean, I think it's incumbent on us that we try to figure out the best way maybe we can solve this somehow. I'm not sure. I'm not an accountant. I have no idea. But I think we need to go back to the drawing table and try to figure something out between us and the cities.
Mr. Conway, I'm going to ask Dr. Pinto to give us, we've already examined this very much, and we've already spoken to the union. Pina referred to hours and hours of discussions on this, and what's not known, we've also discussed in the central office how to support, Pina talked about being a village. We've talked about how to support staff that may be struggling for food and clothing, for example, and we have community partners we work with who we think we can rely on for people in that way. We genuinely want to help. One clarification I think is really important. This is not a glitch, Mr. Conway. It's not a glitch. It's proper procedure. It's following the law. It's working with the city to provide paychecks as they're scheduled. It should be anticipated. It should be messaged to people in sufficient time for them to make adjustments. But it is going to occur periodically because it's just the nature of the calendar. Dr. Pinto, could you please explain what we've worked on so far?
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. So I do certainly recognize that this transition has caused an unexpected hardship for employees, and have certainly asked that we review internal communications to ensure that we communicate further in advance with regard to payroll changes. This communication was sent out on July 29th, and so we recognize that we should be sending earlier than July 29th. I do think, so we are in conversation with the city. I was in conversation with the city auditor and that department today to examine potential solutions, and so I don't want to offer a solution on the fly. I do want to have a little more opportunity to discuss further with them what solutions are available and what the implications are. It is important that we remain on that biweekly pay schedule. Having pulling us off the biweekly schedule could result in further errors and misses and miscalculations, and so that's something we certainly want to avoid. I do acknowledge that Mr. Conway's earlier comments about this being a difficult budget season for sure, or a difficult fiscal year. And so I'll offer that commitment to you this evening to continue talks with the auditor and payroll on potential solutions.
Ms. McFadden?
I was just going to reiterate the communication piece, and that it's not just a frustration, I don't think, for teachers. I think that they're filled with anxiety, they're stressed, and I understand that there are resources out there, but I don't think that they necessarily want to have to tap into community resources. So I just wanted to reiterate that as well.
Anyone? Ms. Del Rossi?
I guess I have a two-part question. First is, who did you get a correspondence from on July 29th that this was happening? And then I believe that's why we as teachers get into the field of teaching, because it's a salaried position. You're still going to get paid for Labor Day. You're going to get paid for Thanksgiving. You're going to get paid for Christmas. I mean, you're going to have those days. I've never heard of this in my 20-plus years of teaching. Never.
So thank you for that, Ms. Del Rossi. So the communication came from our office on July 29th with regard to the payroll schedule for all employees. So it covered 182, 186, 192, 197-day employees, so it was detailed at that time. I do want to thank the union president, Pina. I think that this, the summary of the conversations that have taken place really captures the dilemma well.
You're very good. Ms. Del Rossi?
So the correspondence came from the Lowell Public Schools office. So
That's right,
Lowell
came from
Public
our-
Schools decided this, because I don't see this happening anywhere else in Massachusetts.
That's correct. The communication came from our office on July 29th, the finance office.
So you didn't
Lowell
know
Public
until July 29th? That
So
this was
typically
gonna
we've offered this, so in previous years, we've actually offered the communication on pay schedules later in August. This time we actually sent it out a little bit earlier than we have in the past.
Okay, it just seems like this is Lowell specific, and this is really tough for our teachers, but I'll continue doing my own digging. Thank you.
Ms. McFadden?
Just going to say I put June 1st, but I honestly feel like it should be communicated in every payroll throughout the year, just to keep people, abreast of that situation, because it's a big deal to find this out the end of July.
I think the hard part is that you set the schedule later in the year, so many schools, as Ms. Del Rossi just outlined, go back to in-service on the 27th of August, and the kids come on August 31st. So Lowell is different because their in-services start a week later, and now it pushes that, and that's what happens into the 2-week schedule. It happens at many schools, and many school districts look into that, so that's what happened this time. And now it isn't because of incompetence of city employees. It's because the system gets pushed one way and you get paid so many pay periods during the year, and that's how it translates in. But go ahead, Mr. Rossi.
Actually, what I said is that's why teachers get into teaching, is because it's salaried and they know they're going to get paid no matter what on that first week or that first pay period. And that schedule for payment is also made when the school calendar is made. So that should have been seen, this should have been noticed way earlier, because we have the biweekly schedule of when checks are going to be sent out or paid to the bank. So that's why I just think it should correlate with the school calendar. And we had that last summer. So we should have been preparing for this all year. So I guess that's what back to communication and so forth, and just knowing, because it does seem to be a little specific.
And you did state that most school systems don't have this problem, and I just explained why, is because they're coming back a week earlier and it doesn't fold into it. There's a 26-week pay period. It's in their contracts. Here's the schedule. It was a misstep on both the union's part and the administration's part and the school committee's part, that when we looked at these schedules, when you're looking at pay periods, no one really thought much about that because you could have moved it up a week and you wouldn't have this problem. So if they went back on the 27th and you had your in-service days then and then started on the 31st, this wouldn't be happening. And the auditor is not going to allow it to happen because, like Mr. Pinto said, and I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news, but the city can't pay for services not rendered in the pay period that you're accounted for. That's why that 2-week thing is coming. And I know how she works. So how do you rectify this at this point when it's so late in August in trying to figure it out? You could have figured it out earlier, but it will be a uphill battle. But I look forward to seeing the superintendent's report and trying to help people get their pays, because I think that's what, like many of the speakers said, that's what you go to work for. No one normally can go without their pay.
You said that we could have figured it out earlier, but we didn't know about it earlier.
We should have known about it.
So we should have known about it
because the
earlier.
pay periods go 2 weeks.
The teachers should have known about it
It's
way
so-
earlier than they were
It's
notified.
so easy to figure out if it was on the top of your mind back then when you're doing it. You know, that's the hard part to it. Now it's like the dead last minute. When did we know about that, Dr. Pinto? That this was a problem? When were teachers notified about this? Because I did get a couple emails on it, but July 29th you found out? Is that the first time anybody realized this?
Yes, I've worked in the district for 6 years.
Yeah, I agree with you. It should have been, and the incompetence piece is, it's all of us, because we all should have picked up on this when the schedule was put out and counted our weeks through and seen where it went. And anybody who knows their pay schedules would look at that. And I agree with you on, but there's not just city employees, it's all of us together in this. And the sad part is, like you said, there are single mothers, there's single families out there, people who rely on this, and now it's at the dead last minute. And I don't know that there's an easy solution in government, and that's the problem with government, is it's not, I can't take, yes, tomorrow's monies and pay today. So I can't pay someone for something they didn't work because we don't have the ability to do that. And if you did, you'd have to reduce down future payroll on everybody for the year and spread it out. I work in a school where many teachers don't work during the summer. They're just different. Yeah. But I don't disagree with you. Most teachers do work. Mr. Superintendent, I look forward to this report. I hope that we can come to some conclusion that we can help people and try to figure it out.
We'd like to do that, Mr. Mayor. We'll continue to look for additional ideas and additional solutions, and being texted some as we speak. But, you know, I want to be also responsible with the school committee and not offer you a solution that causes further problems. We genuinely would like to help. We'd very much like to pay people on September 3rd. We don't have that option, at least not right now. But we'll continue to explore solutions, and if we come up with something we think is reasonable, we will offer it to the school committee and find a way to do so without needing to wait for 2 more weeks for our next regularly scheduled meeting.
Ms. McFadden.
Just want to say I was very deliberate in the wording of this motion and in my responses to folks saying that I'm not making any promises that we will be able to come up with a solution, but I thought it was really important to put it on the agenda so that we could have this, I think, a fruitful conversation about this.
I think this is a great motion. It highlights the deficiencies in when we schedule and what the outcomes are going to be. And I think going forward, we should be notified when we set schedules that it could have an impact on payroll coming in the summertime. I think that's not much to ask from people. And I think when we set the schedule, we're thinking, I never personally thought of payroll when I set a schedule until you guys just brought that up, and it was brought up in emails. Soleil.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I know the motion is called for June 1st. I just want to hear from Mr. Pinto through you, Mr. Superintendent, because normally June, often we still battle on the budget every year, and I'm just curious, if we set a date on June 1st for such thing like this, would that be something that is achievable or something that take our focus from the budget. So I just wanna hear from Mr. Pinto.
Dr. Pinto, please.
Thank you, Mr. Lay. So it'll depend on the school calendar being set, and it'll depend on the city pay cycle. So we'll need to work in cooperation with the city to determine.
I feel the same way that they feel. In 2026, we didn't already know this going in when we set in school schedules, that this was part of the process, is payroll. But roll call.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi. Mayor Getchia. Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Miss Martin.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu. 6 yeas, 1 absent.
Mr. Superintendent, will we continue to try to ask other communities if this has ever come up and there were ways to rectify it?
Certainly, Mr. Mayor, we'd be happy to do that as well.
Thank you. Number 7, subcommittee. 7.1, the approval of the minutes of the Safety Subcommittee meeting on August 11th, 2026. Motion to accept the report of progress by Ms. Martin, seconded by Ms. McFadden. Any discussion?
If I could, Mr. Mayor, just to give a quick report, I don't think we've reported out on this one yet. But just to say, the meeting was held on the August 11th. Myself, Mr. Lay, and Ms. Del Rossi were all, myself and Mr. Lay were present, Ms. Del Rossi was not present. And we had Ms. Crocker-Roberge, Dr. Hall was there, as well as Ms. Riel-Gilblicki, our safety coordinator for the Lowell Public Schools. We were responding to 2 motions by committee members, one by Mr. Conway, asking the superintendent to develop an RFP and identify an outside school security company, and then a motion by Ms. Del Rossi requesting the superintendent create a focus group involving Lowell Police, safety coordinator, assistant superintendents, representatives from all across the district to help develop a clear timeline for to improve overall communications and general safety procedures. We did have a very informative presentation by Ms. Gilblicki and Ms. Crocker-Roberge, kind of talking about how this district-wide safety committee has been functioning, what they've accomplished in the last school year, including such items as conducting safety audits twice a year at all of our public school locations, implementing the ALICE emergency response training, working with Lowell Public Schools to identify and confirm rally and communication sites, and other collaboration projects with, again, Lowell Police and the Lowell Fire Department. So we did talk about some enhanced safety planning and the potential use of some portable weapon detection units. Ms. Crocker-Roberge had reported out on a visit she had made to Lawrence High School, where they have implemented this kind of technology. There is the beginnings of a plan to implement that here at Lowell High School, something that would be used both during the day as well as at community events in the evenings. At the time, we did discuss kind of how that could be implemented. It's not a final decision yet. It's something the school committee would need to take action on. I will say for myself, I had requested some additional information regarding the kind of what we're trying to respond to right now. Is there information or data that we should have regarding weapons at the high school that should be informing this decision? I had asked Ms. Crocker-Roberge to kind of pull together that information. I don't know if she was able to do it in time for tonight, but I do think that that's going to be important information for us to have before we make any decisions to move forward. So this was really just kind of an information session. And I'd also say that in regards to the second motion, again, that kind of referenced the safety task force that's already in place across the Lowell Public Schools and the work that they've been doing. So I'd present that as a report of progress. I don't know if Ms. Crocker-Roberge is able to provide any of that additional information, or if I think we had discussed waiting until a September date. So not at this meeting, but probably, and please correct me, either the first or second meeting in September, we'll get additional information on the topic so that the school committee can then take action with a little more information. So again, submitting that as a report of progress, and I thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Anyone else discussion on the report? Roll call.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi? Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Ms. Delay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu? 5 yeas, 2 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 8, reports of the superintendent. 8.1, summer school program, school year 2026. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. School committee members, the report that we're talking about is summer school program report, similar to what Dr. Duda presented to us earlier in slideshow version and with her voiceover. This report provides you greater detail, the numbers, the different kinds of programs, and so on. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to respond.
Are there any questions on this portion? Mr. Lay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick question also, again. Does the, since this program is both enrichment and credit recovery, and we have only like 1,000 something students that participate in the summer, does that mean did we turn down any applicants, or was it everybody?
Yeah, Mr. Lay, I'm tempted to respond to the phrase, only 1,000 students. It was 1,500 students. That's 300 more students than we've ever had before. So we're very proud of that. We've literally expanded the programming and the offerings. And so we were able to accommodate all students who wanted to participate.
Thank you, Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Lay. Any other questions on the report? Seeing none. 8.2, school reopening update. Mr. Superintendent.
Again, the school committee members, this report is in your packet. We thought it timely with the start of school coming to give you an update on some of our preparation. Ms. Crocker-Roberge has given you an update that includes Leadership Academy, recruitment and hiring, facilities, student registration and enrollment, and data review. If you have questions on that, again, we'll be happy to respond.
Any questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to 8.3, response to a motion by Ms. Del Rossi, 10-1-25, regarding school safety protocol update. Ms. Del Rossi.
Thank you for the response, and thank you for putting an overall safety and a plan together with important stakeholders. I think it's just important when we do have a situation like the fires in Centerville, the situation with the younger kid walking around with the fake gun. I think that's important because those dismissal times it gets a little hairy for everybody. So I appreciate the continued discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Del Rossi. Seeing no other comments, we'll move on. 8.4, response to motion by Ms. Del Rossi, 6/17/26, regarding half flags ordered by governor. Ms. Del Rossi.
Yes, this made me very happy, and a friend of mine very happy as well. So we're all happy to hear that you're part of an automated system now. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Del Rossi. Any other comments? Seeing none. 8.5, response to motion by Ms. McFadden, 7/15/2026, regarding pest control. We have a registered speaker.
Erin Gendron.
Good evening, Mayor, Superintendent, committee members. If I go over the 2 minutes and I offer you a Snickers, Mayor, maybe?
Gave me a Snickers.
I won't go
That
over
was
2
the end of
minutes. I'm Erin Gendron, 56 Weatherby. I'm here to speak as a concerned citizen, a mother of 2 school-aged boys, and a taxpayer, and in no other capacity. I want to speak on motion 8.5 response regarding current and future rodent issues in our schools. In reviewing this response, I'm still left with concerns. I believe that before we spend additional taxpayer money on a second pest control company, the root issue must be addressed. Or it's just going to be more money, more poison, and more problems. The most important part of pest mitigation are restricting food and water, having a foundation free from cracks and openings so that rodents stay outside where they have natural predators who do the heavy lift for us. We have an integrated pest management plan that is legally required and submitted to the state that does not match our school's actual practice. The IPM states that there is to be no food in the classroom or anywhere other than the cafeteria. Based on this response, are we to assume that grab-and-go breakfast is now happening in the cafeteria? Are we to assume that snacks, extras, and take-homes are not stored in the classroom? Is there designated eating areas for staff and faculty and teachers? Or is there a plan to inform students, staff of these changes coming in September? Rodents are attracted to the very smell of food, as small as crumbs left in a toaster to the dust of chips in a bag. These in a classroom attract a family of mice. I fully understand breakfast is very important in our schools. However, I think it's worth exploring how other district breakfast programs work in the cafeteria setting. I also did not see the current contract as part of their response. I have reviewed it. It is part of public record, and it states that pest management is in the schools only 10 months out of the year. Before adding a second company, this should be remedied. Back when the contract was first written, food was only in the cafeteria, and my guess is that schools weren't used as much in the summer. It's just simply no longer the case. So changes to this will help. It's going to help us to not work against ourselves coming in September. The other issue I found with this response is around education. It's not solely the custodians and the cook's responsibility to know about pest management. This is not just me saying it. This is part of the written in the IPM plan that's submitted by each schools, is that all principals, assistant principals, teachers, faculty, custodians, and cooks have yearly trainings, not just reminders. We cannot poison our way out of this. This is a community issue, and the more we can educate around it, the better it will be for all of us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. McFadden.
Ms. Gendron covered a lot of what I was going to say. I'm curious about what the policy is for the grab-and-go breakfasts. I know every day my kids leave with something, so they're handing food out as they're going out the door as well. And also, if there's a policy for personal items in the classroom, like I've heard from people that, there's toasters in classrooms, fridges, coffee makers. So I'd love to hear more about that. If we're trying to mitigate the issue, having a toaster in a classroom probably isn't going to help.
Mr. Superintendent?
Thank you, Mr. McFadden. Some of the questions and some of the items that have been raised are really very interesting, and they're worthy of our study and responding to the committee in greater detail than I can give you tonight. I agree. I think probably makes obvious sense. If you leave food out, you're attracting rodents. The grab-and-go breakfast being an issue, I think should be given a little bit more consideration. And the reason being that many schools have grab-and-go breakfasts that do not have pest control issues. So it doesn't mean just because you do grab-and-go breakfast, you're automatically having that issue. So we maybe need to look at that. And one of the reasons to take our time to look at that, the grab-and-go breakfast program has been incredibly beneficial. And we can get you the numbers on that from our market, how many students are availing of breakfast that never did before. It sounds trivial, but kids won't come in time in the morning to go by the cafeteria to get something to eat on their way to, and to sit in the cafeteria and to eat it before they go to homeroom. but they'll grab something in the hall right outside their homeroom and go inside and eat it. I'm not advocating for one or the other. I'm just simply saying it probably requires a little bit more study and a bit more advice that we could give the committee based on what we could look at. Again, there are many schools that do grab-and-go breakfasts that don't have pest control issues, and so and besides, I think Ms. Gendron and notice our facilities director is here tonight, Mr. Underwood. There are very many factors that play into the pest control issue. The pest control issue has been more of a problem, in part because of all the progress that's gone on in our city with construction, with pavements, with streets and buildings and so forth. A lot of construction brings out the pest control, not just for schools, by the way, but for homeowners and restaurants and so on as well. I'm advocating simply that we give it some more serious thought. And again, Mr. Underwood is here if you'd like to hear from him as well.
I'm not suggesting that we deny any students breakfast. I just want to publicly say that.
Ms. McFadden, you all set? Mr. Conway?
Yeah, thank you. Through you to the superintendent. Excuse me, the pest control company that comes in, how often do they visit a school? Do you know?
If you don't mind, Mr. Conway, I think Mr. Underwood is best placed to respond to that question and other questions about the pest control. Sure. Mr. Underwood?
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Under our current contract, the pest vendor treats every school twice a month.
Twice a month?
Twice a month.
And when they come in, how many come into a school?
Typically one vendor, one pest control person, yeah.
One individual
that is
comes in. Okay.
I believe he just hired a second person with the company, but I cannot verify that at this second.
So we've got one person taking care of, how many schools do we have? 20? Sorry?
30.
About 30? About 30 buildings and we have one person?
That's correct.
Does that make any sense?
He's valid to bid it. He met all the procurement laws to bid the contract, and
no, but I mean,
he is meeting his scheduled visits. That's all I can verify.
I'm certainly not an expert in pest control, but the bottom line is, I would think you would come in with a number of people and go through the building to see if there's any signs or if there's any issues or problems or holes or whatever it may be. And you got one person going into a building, and how long does he stay?
It varies. So the protocol for the pest control is the principals, the teachers, et cetera, that we have a pest control logbook in each one of the schools that's located in the main office.
Correct.
Yeah, so protocol is no matter who sees it, whether it's a dropping or an actual pest, they report it to the senior custodian, it gets logged into the book, where it was, what time it was. The vendor comes in on his visits, checks that books, treats those areas of concern, also treats the cafeteria, dry storage area, and teacher's room regardless. And that's actually, that's the protocol that we follow.
I think that's, again, I'm not an expert on that, Mr. Superintendent, but I think we have to reevaluate that situation. If we have one person, you get 30 buildings, and he comes in for a couple minutes and then signs his name and walks out the building, I just don't, that doesn't, you wonder why we do have problems then.
So
I mean, if I hired somebody, I'd want them checking all over the place. I mean, if somebody came into my house.
I don't disagree.
Somebody came into my house and said, oh yeah, let me just write this down, I was here. Have a good day, I'll talk to you next month. I don't think I'd be paying that person for long, you know?
Well, when we put the bids out for contract,
yeah,
as I'm sure you're aware, they go out on the street under the advertisement set up by the procurement, authorized bidders that meet the criteria and the licensing, et cetera, bid on it. At that time, we really don't have any idea who, the number of people that are coming in. They've been in the contract or awarded the contract, and we move on from there. We make adjustments and amendments to it as necessary.
I think we have to, take a look at that whole process, because I hear from a lot of teachers, and they send pictures to me, and there's giant holes, and it's not an ant that did that. And I've been at meetings when I was on the council, and we would have meetings in the school, and all of a sudden, there's a couple little mousies, they're just running around the place, just coming out to see, say hello, and then go back to wherever they were. So I think we have to revisit that, Mr. Superintendent. Thank you.
Ms. McFadden.
I just
Ms.
have
Martin.
one quick question for Mr. Underwood. Are there pests in all the schools?
There are pests, I would assume there's pests in all
Okay.
schools. There's schools that are having worse problems than
Yeah.
others. The Robinson, the STEM Academy, those schools seem to be more problematic than the others.
Okay.
But
Thank you. Yeah, I hear from so many teachers
Yeah,
from.
I'm sorry, in the high school. The high school,
Yes.
we have quite a bit of pests.
Ms. Martin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to say, actually, I guess kind of piggybacking on what Mr. Conway was saying, we've been having this conversation not only for a long time, but for too long. So the reality is, I don't think it's a matter of the bidding process. I don't think that's the issue. The issue is that we need to put in place a much more rigorous protocol and build that into our bid request. I think I think it's true, and there are certain schools that are having a bigger challenge. I absolutely agree with that. That needs to be very clearly articulated. I think that, I do think that a big part of this is kind of foundation work and ensuring that we have a tight envelope on our schools. And that's a bigger challenge, certainly. But I think that's what the long-term solution is going to be. We need to tighten up our envelopes so that you're avoiding, pests and rodents getting in the first place. But I think it's incumbent upon us. We need to, you can't do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. We need to, again, update what our RFP requirements are so that we're asking for a more rigorous protocol at all of our schools, and particularly at those schools that have a pronounced issue. So that, that's our job, and that's what we need to do. I'm not sure what the contracting term is, so I don't know where we are in terms of this contract, but something, whether it's changing the kind of expectations with our current contractor, if they're capable even of doing that, or if we need to return to the procurement office and start this process again, we need to build an expectation that's realistic to address the needs that we've been, quite honestly, skirting around for far too long. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Mr. Lay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also want to piggyback on Mr. Conway's idea and also Ms. Martin's. I'm just curious, did this one person actually have done a good job in controlling the rodent in the school? Do we have any good result from him? And secondly, perhaps we want to guarantee that all the holes are plugged around the buildings, make sure we don't have any cracks or hole in the foundation.
So we are absolutely
Thank you,
putting
Mr.
a
Mayor.
plan together. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. We're absolutely putting a plan together, and we've spoken with DPW, we've spoken with the food service. The plan is to go back, address all the holes in the building. A couple of years ago, we did do door sweeps, we filled in holes, but they were reoccurring. So we're going to identify those as we actually already are. Plastic bins for food service, plastic bins, the removal of refrigerators and toaster ovens from classrooms, those type of things to, readdress the problems that are causing the rodents from coming into the building. And then we also have the plan to revive the contract at the end of next June. The current contract ends June 30th, and the new contract will start July 1st of next year. We have every intention to increase that IPM plan for the schools.
Ms. Del Rossi.
I just wanted to say, I mean, it just speaks volumes. Like if we're not taking care of our buildings and our students aren't seeing our buildings taken care of, like I've heard of rats jumping out of file cabinets at the Robinson. I've heard some horror stories. And it seems like you bring it up, somebody goes out there, and then nothing ends up happening, and it happens again. So I just think we need to do better for the students and the staff to make Lowell a place that you want to work, not Lowell a place you want to work with the rodents.
Thank you, Ms. Del Rossi. We've tried for some time to do that and create a facilities department, but it didn't get off the ground. And that's how people get to buildings and manage them. But Ms. Underwood, the company we're talking about, do they have more than one employee?
They do not.
They do not, okay.
But I might add, though, prior to this, we had Baines, which is a very reputable company. They have multiple employees, but we really had one representative that took care of the schools. So this is not, unusual that.
Even at Greater Lowell, the building's 620,000 square feet. There's one person who comes in, he takes about 40 minutes, he walks through the building, looks at the bait traps, see if they're touched or not, looks at everything else, writes his report, puts them down and goes. So it's not rocket science.
Yeah.
It's pretty much straightforward. It doesn't take that long. So you should be able to do at least 2 to 3 buildings a day, which the 29 number now goes to nothing. So it is easily managed. And I think we're missing the point. The point that Ms. Gendron had brought up is food brings in rodents. I know all of us have homes, and everybody, I'm sure, has saw a mouse at some point. And if you haven't, boy, you are lucky. But, when you think about the food that goes down in the place, you grab and go. How quickly do those custodians pick up that food and get it out of the building? Some days, maybe fast. Other days, takes time. Some days, we have something else that we have to get off of our plate. And one of the major drivers is, if you look at the Robinson and you look at the STEM Academy, there's 2 things that both of them have. Gardens next to a building. I wonder what that does. Brings rodents to a building. There's a garden right on top of a building. That's what happens. And then when you look in some of these buildings, you're like, okay, how do we maintain it? There's absolutely a maintenance issue with the city. We can keep batting at that, but how do we resolve getting these critters to the buildings? They're getting in no matter what. You could seal up the foundation all the way around. The doors have gaps underneath them like this, and if you think that little rubber piece stops the mouse from going in, boy, are we in Fantasy Island. At the end of the day, the food, the microwaves, the refrigerators are a major problem. And I don't understand how our fire department is allowing them into classrooms. I've walked to a brand new renovated school, has a space heater plugged in underneath a desk, a fireplace in the same room, and a refrigerator, in a brand new renovated school that has controls. Well, I don't like it at a certain temperature, so I need this, and I need food because I have gone to HR and they gave me, I had a note from a doctor, and now they allow refrigerators and microwaves in my room rather than in a certain area. And you see it all the way through. I've been to 13 of the schools. I've taken tours of 13 of the schools, and every single one of them has a microwave in a place that you would never put it. We can't keep pushing that it's the company and the IPM piece if we're not even following our own rules. We're like basically dropping bread on the sidewalk, bringing it into the building, and that's where they run to. I think that Ms. Gendron brought up some really good points that if we hit on the simple things and try to train people into it, it won't be reduced right away, but the reduction will come. And that's what we do at the school we're at. The kids eat in the cafeteria. They get their breakfast in the morning. When the bus gets dropped off, gives them 15 minutes for their breakfast, they eat, and then they go to their classrooms, which gives the teachers time to settle in. I don't know if that's even feasible in your schedules, but I think if you're going to try to mitigate this down, you have to really look at the program itself. But I'm sure you agree, Mr. Underwood, you've seen it all the way through.
I absolutely agree. A couple of years, several years ago, you may remember, we put a very aggressive attack on pest control, and we had 4 groups that paid close attention. We had UTL that had their members containing their food, being careful of what they brought in, getting rid of some of their toaster ovens, bringing in their snacks, which all classrooms do, and they had them in containers. Food service spent thousands of dollars on plastic containers, and yes, the mice will eat through it, but it takes time. Custodians were doing a better job, and DPW did a great job attacking the holes in the building, and we made great progress for that period. But you know, a lot of those measures now have become complacent and forgotten, and I agree, it's not just the pest control. If we all do our job, we can combat this without, you know, spending a lot of money. To Ms. Gendron's point, we don't have to poison ourselves away. There's also mechanical traps, tin cans, live traps we can put out. There's other measures we can take other than just trying to poison our way out of it. But it really has to be everybody doing their part. It can't be just banners and pointing the fingers at banners or pointing the fingers at the custodians. It's everybody has to do a better job.
And every single time I've seen mouse drop-ins in a classroom, the teacher or one of the students has had food in there. And then they go to it, they do the drop-ins across, you can see it in a desk where they kept a bar in there, you know, to eat. And I think that that's the major driver, is just principals have to get serious with what they're gonna do and try to mitigate it down. But any other questions? We can move on. Thank you, Mr. Underwood.
Thank you.
8.6, motion, response to motion by Ms. Del Rossi, 7/15/26, regarding repair projects for each of the schools and the status updates. Ms. Del Rossi.
Thank you very much for this. It's very informative. It kind of gives us an idea of everything that needs to be done at the beginning of the school year with all of the schools, and then goes into pictures of some of the areas that were worked on and still need help with. It looks like a lot of it is needing the DPW to help to resolve it. So hopefully the DPW will step up and try to start helping us out a little bit. Thank you.
Mr. Lay.
Mr. Mayor, maybe call Ricky back here. On exhibition B, that photo looks pretty bad, the floor at the school there. And it says that it will be done before the school opening, and school's opening soon, so I hope we're going to get it done soon.
I was told the Riley basketball floor is going to be done before school opened, too. It hasn't moved.
Fingers crossed.
Mr. Superintendent, have you shared this report with the DPW?
The DPW, Mr. Mayor, is aware of each and every one of the issues in the report.
Can we resend it to them just so that they're well aware that, and just document that it got sent there?
Certainly.
I think it's
Certainly.
important that we start following through on it, on our end, and we be the pest that we need to be.
Definitely. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. 8.7, financial literacy update. Dr. Pinto? Oh, Mr. Super.
Excuse me, that's actually, Mr. Mayor, it's a curriculum-related item. Previously, we responded to a motion by Mr. Bahu, and when he received the report of motion, he asked for an update. May I suggest that we put this one off, as Mr. Bahu's not here tonight, we might bring it back at the next meeting?
Motion by Ms. McFadden, seconded by Mr. Lay, to remove 8.7 from the agenda and bring it back to the next school committee meeting. Roll call.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi? Yes. Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu? 6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you. 8.8, personnel report, August 2026. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This report is an annual report that the school committee has taken interest in the past, and it outlines for everyone the staff members who have retired, resigned, and those who are promoted and or are new hires in the district. So it's a summer update for the school committee members. We're happy to respond to any questions you might have.
Any questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to 8.9, exit interview feedback update. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, school committee has asked for this report annually. It shares with you that we offer each and every staff member who's leaving Lowell Public Schools an opportunity for an exit interview. There are in-person interviews as well as a less personal online version where people can respond to a survey online. Some of the feedback and the general outline is given in this report. Again, we're happy to take questions if you have them.
Do you have any questions by any of the members? Ms. McFadden.
Just a quick question. Do most opt to do it online versus in person?
I don't know offhand. Let's see. 90 responses. I'm reading the report here just to see if I can finger that exact. I don't know. In fact, very many people do both. So many people give us an in-person interview, to exit interview, as well as do the online.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McFadden. Any other questions on this? Motion to accept the reports of the superintendent 8.1 through 8.9, excluding 8.7, as a report of progress by Ms. Del Rossi, seconded by Mr. Conway. Roll call.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi. Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu. 6 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 8.10, home education. Motion to approve home education by Mr. Conway, seconded by Ms. Martin. Any questions on this? Seeing none, roll call.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi. Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu. 6 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 9, new business. 9.1, approval to accept and expend allocated FY27 awards. Motion to accept, approve, and expend the allocated FY27 awards by Mr. Lay, seconded by Ms. Del Rossi. Any questions on this? Seeing none, roll call.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi. Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu. 6 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 9.2, budget modification request. Motion to approve the budget modification of $7,522,102 by Mr. Conway, seconded by Mr. Lay. Any questions on this? Mr. Lay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to hear, what is this, 7.5 million? That's a lot of money. Just want to
Mr. Superintendent?
explain.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Lay, for your question. Dr. Pinto, please.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. So I believe we've captured this in the memo that's there. This is the adjustment is just the most significant adjustment I think that you might be interested in is just making sure that every item is in the correct line. So there's no impact to the budget. It's just reclassification of dollars to correct line accounts.
All set, Mr. Lay?
Thank you.
Roll call.
Mr. Conway. Mr. Rossi. Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu. 6 yeas.
9.3, request to update job description template. Motion to approve updating the job description template by Ms. Del Rossi, seconded by Ms. McFadden. Any questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Mr. Conway. Mr. Rossi. Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu. 5 yeas, 2 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 9.4, doctoral research proposal, Andrea Ricotta. Motion to approve the doctoral research proposal for Andrea Ricotta by Ms. McFadden, seconded by Ms. Del Rossi. Any questions? Roll call.
Mr. Conway? Mr. Rossi? Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu? 5 yeas, 2 absent.
9.5, declaration of technology equipment as surplus and request for disposal. Motion to approve disposal of surplus technology equipment by Ms. Martin, seconded by Mr. Lay. Any questions? Roll call.
I have a quick question.
Mr. Lay.
We have over 1,000 computers to be disposed of. How are we going to do that? Are we, couldn't we just recycle them or something? Or that's a lot of computers.
I believe so. Dr. Pinto?
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Yes, so what happens is with the disposal of surplus technology equipment, we liaise with the city purchasing department to determine if there is any value before placing them out for surplus. In this case, it was determined that there was not value to be had from these devices, and so that's why the disposal.
I guess my question is, how are we going to do it? Are we just toss them out? Or we?
No, a recycling company comes and gets them. They all have to be recycled.
All right, thanks.
Roll call.
Mr. Conway? Mr. Rossi? Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu? 5 yeas, 2 absent.
10, convention conference request. 10.1, out-of-state overnight request, education policy fellowship program, Washington, D.C. Motion to approve the convention conference request by Ms. McFadden, seconded by Mr. Lay. Any questions? Roll call.
Mr. Conway? Mr. Rossi? Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu? 5 yeas, 2 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 11, communications. 11.1, Lowell High School Summer Graduation Program. Motion to accept the communication and to place it on file by Mr. Conway, seconded by Mr. Lay. Any questions on it? Roll call.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu? 6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 12, professional personnel. 12.1, the members of the United Teachers of Lowell hereby donate 6 sick leave days to Mirtha Rodriguez, McAuliffe School paraprofessional. Motion to approve the professional personnel by Ms. McFadden, seconded by Ms. Martin. Roll call.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi? Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu? 6 yeas.
Does anybody have any announcements? Ms. McFadden.
Tomorrow at Colley Stadium from 12 to 2, Wellpoint and the Lowell Police Department are giving away free backpacks. So they have 300 free backpacks filled with school supplies. So if anybody's watching and want to bring their kids there. And then I also wanted to congratulate that I might be stealing your announcement, so piggyback on it, but the 12U and 8U baseball teams, they both made it to the World Series, the Cal Ripken World Series. The 12-year-olds battled really hard. They did great. And right now, the 8-year-olds are in New Jersey playing. So congratulations to both teams.
The 12-year-olds drew the #1 team in the country, in the world, and the #2 and 3, and they played unbelievable.
Amazing.
It's amazing for teams from here.
Ryder Sweat was named one of the MVPs out of 500 kids. There were 20 kids, and he was one of
It's the first time in the history of the city.
So pretty cool. Congratulations.
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Conway, seconded by Ms. Del Rossi. Roll call.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi? Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu? 6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you, everyone.